Welcome to Game Over Yeah, the video game podcast created by gamers for gamers with your host, Leon.
Dave!
The Stagbear himself.
And we've got guests this week from Madrid, Spain, CEO of Hydra Interactive Entertainment, Daniel Parente.
Woo!
Hi everyone.
There he is. There he is. How are you doing today, my
Nice
man?
soundtrack.
How you doing today anyway? You good, Daniel?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just taking a lot of fun just hearing the program starting. Quite amazing.
Yeah, if you think we had fun starting the program, just wait till you see the rest of it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's a fucking fun packed full show today.
High
Absolutely.
production value.
Can't wait for it.
So, I mean, we've got a lovely rainy day in England here, and how is it over in Spain?
Well, we have a little bit of rain in the morning, but after that we had nice weather with some sunshine and some nice warm temperature. So I cannot complain.
Oh man,
Gorgeous.
we're in the wrong place, guys. We're in the wrong place, clearly.
It was sunny earlier. I was out in that.
Oh yeah, it was
The
sunny.
barbecue.
Oh yeah, you were having a barbecue, but then the rain happened.
I've got
It's
a
'cause
gazebo,
Mike had a
mate.
barbecue.
Oh, gazebo pro barbecue maneuver there.
Ready for
Wise
him.
investment.
Excellent. Anyway, well, let's jump into a little bit more about Hydra Interactive then. How
Hail
did this
Hydra.
sort of how did it come about, Daniel?
Sorry?
How did sort of Hydra Interactive start?
It started a couple of years ago when some people that I knew from a previous company, a games company that I worked for, we decided to come together and to try to take the wave of this new trend in indie dev and to have fun while doing games rather than to actually be in a lot of pain doing games that you didn't like. So we thought that it was a nice opportunity, and here we are a couple of years after doing basically the games that we really like to do, even if people don't understand it.
Excellent, I love it. So, I mean, what have you kind of worked on in the past? As a developer, in some sense, if you can kind of talk about that. I mean, have you done have you worked for other companies in some sense before? I mean, how did you kind of get your start?
I've worked for two other companies, two well-known companies here in Spain. The last games that I've developed were a game 3 years ago. That was about alien Spidey that was coming from outer space to invade Earth, only to discover that Earth was already ruled by dangerous garden insects. And so it was a game that was launched on XBLA and PSN and Steam. It has nice graphics and some hardcore mechanics, but I think that the mechanics in the control were so hardcore that actually players were not able to understand the real fun behind the game. But there are still a lot of people playing it. And in the meanwhile, we also developed a turn-based strategy game that was called Legends of War Patents Campaign, which is a game set in the Second World War, and you had to take care of all the battles that the regiment from Patton took from the shores of Normandy up to almost Berlin.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been playing around for a lot of things, and before that I did different games, all of them almost not very well known because they were mid-budget games.
Yeah.
But we did the one that was a little bit more covered was one that we did for the 20th Century Fox, based on a movie that they did for a movie called Aliens in the Attic. So the game was called as well Aliens in the Attic.
Oh, okay, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
And it involved someone hiding in an attic.
Sorry?
Did it involve someone hiding in an attic?
Well, four aliens that came to discover a weapon of mass destruction, and so they were hiding in the attic.
Nice.
I don't know if you've seen the movie. It was a movie that has some cool special effects, and the leading cast was by this girl that was famous after doing High School Musical, Ashley Tidal or something like this.
Okay. Yeah, I must admit it's not a film I've seen, but I do know that if you want to keep weapons of mass destruction, that you should put them in your attic because no one goes looking there.
Yeah, no one knows what they are there.
You never fucking find them if you put them in the air.
But then we will be going into the differences in narrative between games and movies, and so I don't know which will the one that will be on top of the other one.
Sure.
Fair enough. So, I mean, anyway, let's jump into kind of what Hydra Interactive's doing at the moment.
Hell, Hydra.
Well,
Stop
we
saying.
are fine. Yeah, we are basically taking a lot of fun with the game that we have in our hands now, and which is something that we created a couple of years ago, and it's based on universe of papercraft and origami set in ancient Japan, and so we have a lot of crazy paper characters going around slashing and dashing over paper characters. So a lot of slashing.
Yeah, I've seen the gameplay video. There is definitely a lot of slashing going on, and
Yeah,
some. I was going to say, and some excellent umbrella techniques as well.
Yeah, as well. We wanted to have a girl on the game, and so we thought that it will be a very interesting weapon of mass destruction to give her an umbrella.
Did you get it from our attic?
Almost. We have it disguised as a special alien interface.
Nice.
Kind of antenna.
So from what I gathered from the game, it's kind of like a beat 'em up puzzle game. Is that effectively what it is?
Yeah, it will be more. So the best genres that we think that could define the game, I think that it will be really an action RPG hack and slash. The puzzle aspect of the game is there only to link the action between the two worlds and to allow for the player to actually take some brief between the action. And so the puzzles, which is based on boxes that you can transfer from one world to the other, are only there to actually make some game balancing in order to allow for the player to solve some problems while recovering between parts of a battle.
Cool. So it's like
the battle we have a lot of different. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say, so it's like a calm respite. It's like all of that intense action going on there. You need to take a 5-minute breather.
Yeah,
so just push some boxes around. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and to spare some controllers.
Yeah, pushing boxes never broke controllers.
Yeah, so basically the game has a lot of things going on around, mainly around the samurai, who is called Ryu, and he has a lot of different actions or mechanics that he can use to deal with enemies. So we thought that since it was Japan, we need to have a katana. So he has a katana, and we think that he also needed shuriken. So he has also shurikens that he can throw away everywhere. And then he has also a lot of key chained combos that he can unblock as he go around. And if he's able to actually chain correctly the keychain, so he will perform on top of that some kind of special combo power up with a lot of effects and with a lot of devastation. in order to actually be able to deal with the waves of enemies, because a lot of the action is based on melee battles. So you have a lot of different enemies that attack you at the same time from different directions, and so he needs to understand correctly what is happening and to basically choose the right sequence of keystrokes in order to be able to unlock the right combos. In order to give it a little bit more hard time, and since he is a paper character, we have decided to link all the power combos that he's able to perform with his life. So that means that if he's performed too much combos, then he will spend more life, because you don't have actually an energy and a life bar, but we have concentrated both things in the same stretch of paper. So that means that you need to be also very tactical on how much blows you are able to take, or how much magical strikes you are able to perform, because the more you perform combos, the more paper you will spend doing so.
Cool. When you've finished hacking everybody to bits, does your health regenerate back over time, or do you have to collect health pickups, or both?
You have, so basically the other enemies are also made of paper, so that means that you have actually 3 options that you can do when you kill the enemies. The first one is, from time to time, the enemies, since they are made of paper, will drop some paper that you can collect in order to raise your life bar. And you also be able to find some paper hidden in the scenario, because the scenario, the level is also made of paper. And the third option connects with the third mechanic that the characters are able to do, and that takes it in the kind of RPG path. That means that you are able to collect some of the enemies that you kill on your way, and then to summon them as origamis to fight for you. So, for instance, if you are able to kill, for instance, the middle boss that you will be finding in the second level, which is a huge Oni, then the Oni, when he dies, he will not drop paper that you can use to raise your life bar, but instead you will drop a mini origami of Oni with its form, which if you collect, then if you have enough paper, you will be able to summon it in order to fight with you against the enemies. Kind of Pokemon fighting shim.
Nice. Small paper Oni, I choose you.
Yeah. And you will be able to choose from a large set of enemies, or from a large set of power-up elements that you will be able to find. So you will be able to, for instance, to shift weapons. So you start with a katana, but as you find new enhanced katanas, you will be able to upgrade them using paper. So that means that downgrading your life. Or if you find, for instance, arrows or spears or boats, you will be able to summon them in order to overcome obstacles or enemies.
Cool. So what about magic? I'm guessing that everything's paper, so they'll all be weak against fire.
Yes, exactly.
No, they're weak against scissors. They beat rock.
Scissors as well, and wind as well. So wind will also be a main element. So the main elements that you play around with, and you can see that in the level that I've sent as a sample. So water have a negative impact on them. Fire as well. Wind will have also one, and the fire will also play a very important role in the story, because as they fight against evil, and evil starts to win upon them until the end of the game, as you move along the 4 worlds that makes the game, you will start to see that as evil has more and more power, the levels will start to become more burned down and more under fire, with ashes and a lot of small fires everywhere around, that will also complicate it complicate also the navigation through the level, because you will need to actually overcome also the burned down parts of the level, which also will bring a different environment and mood into the game.
Cool. I must say it is very pretty. The little sparkles of paper fluttering down as you kill enemies, and I do like the whole sort of pop-up book aspect to the levels. It does look really good. Is it an art style that you've used before, or is this brand new?
No, when initially we start to think about the game, we didn't thought neither about Japan, neither about paper. We start with an early prototype where we had mainly the flipping mechanism. So that means that we had already 2 levels that were facing each other on different planes that you could flip between them. And we had a beginning of a box mechanic. So that means that you were able to raise or get down the level using the box. And as we moved forward in trying to bring some consistency over it, we thought that the only thing that actually would make sense to connect the 2 worlds and to allow a box or some fold to move from one world to the other was paper, some kind of magic paper. And as soon as we start to play around with the paper look and feel, we immediately were as attracted by Japan and by the Japanese culture, the Japanese also visuals, where you have a lot of colors, plus the Japanese mythology and legends, where you have actually a lot of different characters that are very well known from most of people around the world, and that we could bring into the game and give it an understandable reason why they were there. And so that means that's when we start to play around with the papercraft, origamis, the colors, and the medieval Japanese setting.
Cool. Did you actually have to learn origami, or did you wing it?
Well, a little bit of both. So the main problem that we have with the look and feel of the game is actually on the production pipeline that we need to follow, because in order to give this rich visuals to the game and to have the characters to be kind of attractive and nice to see, we had to do a lot of work in order to actually define the traits for the character, then to define the overall more than look and feel, the overall visual, the overall concept art about it. And then once we had an interesting concept of it, we had then to destroy that image, that concept art, and reconstruct it with paper that could be wrapped or folded or cut in order to actually reconstruct it under this papercraft or origami aspect. So it's a really long and hard work to do in order to be consistent with the overall aspect of the game.
Wow, that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, which means that everyone will be able to build his own character. We have made the test, and it's possible to build it. So we can distribute paper cutout templates for everyone to build their own little samurai and their own little princess.
Nice. It comes with the boxed version. You open it up and you can make the little characters.
Yeah, that's the idea. Or that you could, for instance, unlock as you move some kind of digital versions that you could then print and cut.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Not only can you play video games, you can be crafty at the same time.
Exactly. And in the Kickstarter that we launched a couple of weeks ago, one of the versions of the pledges that we were giving to people was actually to choose a creature from the Japanese mythology, to send us a picture and to get origamized and sent into the game. So it will be actually able to see his face into a medieval creature and put in the game as a middle boss.
Nice. Did you get many people coming back with that?
Stag beetles.
No, because we
Yes,
failed the
stag beetles.
We were not able to raise enough attention to the Kickstarter, and so we had to basically go up to the end in order to fulfill the commitment that we had with a small number of backers that we had. And so the Kickstarter ended without success, and so we are now planning for a reboot addressing the issues that we detected during the previous Kickstarter, and that was basically that no one knew about the game. So we were doing a lot of promotion, but I think that only for other developers and not for players.
Okay. One thing I did notice about the Kickstarter, one of the rewards was a sword. Was that actually a real sword, or was it a paper-created sword?
No, it was a wooden sword.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want a fucking wooden sword.
No, you want the umbrella and the outfit. You want to dress up like the princess.
I would do that. If I
It goes with your
at the
cup.
same time.
There was people interested in it, so the think that the cosplay is something that is very intricated with the culture of players nowadays, especially Japanese people or Japanese Japanese themed games or Japanese themed histories or comics. I think that it's well used to actually do cosplay with that.
Nice. So you were saying that you're looking more at the players rather than developers. Are you going to put things out like demos and things like that?
Yeah, we are addressing it. So the first thing that we are currently addressing, because we are listening to what people are saying to us, and the main problem that we had is although we were doing some promotion on Twitter and Facebook and this kind of things or this kind of channels, we think that the audience that we were targeting wrongly was more of developers, and we are not actually be able to reach blogs of games and the gamer audience. And so we are addressing it by actually be more active with blogs, podcasts, YouTubers, and this kind of things in order to raise the awareness for the game. And then the second thing that we are doing, because we have also listening to some input, is that it seems that the name of the game doesn't ring any bell or doesn't make your heart tick faster when you listen to it. So we are also thinking in shifting a little bit the name of the game and bring something more epic or something that actually can connect more to the idea of a story of a game, of a legend, of the epic story that we want to tell as well. So we are moving around some ideas that we will be checking with the community before rebooting the Kickstarter in a couple of weeks.
Cool. Should call it Paper Princess and the Katana of Doom.
Well, I will take note of it. And I will
no royalties this way.
To a votation. So we want to bring more of the implication of the people, especially of the backers that we had in the first Kickstarter, which I think deserve to be listened to, because they were a really great help in communicating the game to other people and this kind of thing. And so we will try to make them part of the decision process.
Cool.
Oh, that's great. That's really good that you kind of want to get your community involved.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main advantage with the current industry that we have. So players have more power, and developers also want to be closer to the players. Even some of the mechanism that we have currently now in the industry helps designers to make games more connected with the players. Now, if you draw some of the inspirations that you can get with analytics that are used in the freemium to actually fine-tune design and to help the designer to lower or to raise difficulty as he is able to understand what is happening in the game. That's a great mechanism to be closer to your players and to avoid situations like in the past where a lot of players were never able to go over 1 or 2 hours of gameplay before getting blocked and quit on the game, which was a lot of times a shame, because you had a game of 20 hours with 80% of players never going above 2 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now I think that we are closer. Games are also, again, more creative, which was also a complaint that we had a couple of years ago, that all the games started to look the same because the mechanisms that the publishers use to select the games make them all look alike in order to reduce risk. And now, again, the creativity control is on the developers, and so you're able to do whatever you want to do, even if in the end you are not able to sell the game to no one, but at least you have the creativity control to do what you want.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's not a game that involves flapping birds, pipes, or mining or crafting in any way, shape, or form.
In our case, no. In our case, the only thing that we want to do was a hack and slash action game. So that means that's what we want to do, and then the other aspects of the game were there to balance it and to give it a little more of deepness and other ways to move through the game, basically. But no pipes, no flapping, no single touch on the screen. The game is to be played with a full game controller, game pad, and the main targets platforms are basically apart from the PC, Linux, and Mac, the PS4, the PS Vita, the Xbox One, and the Wii U. Cool. And we will try to actually also bring some crossplay into it, because since you have two worlds, two characters that you can control with different ways of playing, we think that we are able to bring some co-op gameplay into it, both multiplayer or locally, which is also fine for gamers.
Yeah, that is always a winner in my books. I mean, especially locally as well. If you could sort it out locally, that would be amazing, because that's a lot of fun being able to do that.
It's always going to be fun to see the arguments about who wants to play the mighty warrior and who wants to be playing the princess.
Yeah.
Well, but each of the players has its own advantage. So the mighty warrior can do a lot of things, but from time to time he will need the help of a princess in order to kill a big boss, or in order to solve some of the puzzles. And on the other side, also he needs also to take care of her, because in the end, while you flip the game away to the other world, the second world doesn't stop. That means that if you let your character in a situation where it can be attacked by enemies, then they will attack it while you're not looking at it. And so that means that you need also to take care that nothing happens to the other character while you are playing with the other one. A reason why, for instance, the Wii U is a really nice device to actually play with it, because you can always take a look at what is happening on the other world with a tablet, or for instance in the blend with PS4 and PS Vita, where you actually can have the PS Vita as well as a kind of second screen into what is happening with the other level while you're not looking at it.
That's really cool. I like that.
So we have tried to actually make a sense for all those possibilities of drivers. And then in the end, if we are doing a tablet version for Android or for iOS, the idea that we have to do is to actually extrapolate a little bit on the gameplay, and probably to use some kind of recognition patterns, gestures, and this kind of things to bring some parts of the gameplay, but not the hardcore part of it. So probably also to use it as some kind of second screen device toward the main platforms.
Cool. So like, as a companion rather than a standalone game.
Exactly. Or to tell parts of the story in different ways. So we were basically trying to see it as a large experience and kind of a large transmedia and cross media experience. That's the idea that we want to do, and even some of the twists in the story that I cannot foretell, because then I would be killing the surprise.
Spoilers!
No spoilers.
There's no spoilers. So there will be a lot of things that will make the player really have to push his brain to the maximum rotation per minute in order to solve some of the situations.
Cool. So how far through the game are you? Because I mean, we've seen sort of the one level, but and you know, there's the enemies of that level. But have you managed to like do like multiple levels, or is it kind of that's where you are, but you've still got all this extra stuff to do?
Well, what we have, what you see now is more or less 10% of a game. So that means that the level that we can play is about 10% of the overall game. The game is divided in 4 worlds. Since you have 4 worlds, that means that each level has actually 2 levels, because you have the level for the samurai and the level for the princess. And when you design one level, you are actually designing 2 levels, because everything in the topography and in the layout of the levels from one side is making dependencies on the other one. Because if something goes up in one level, on the other one it will go down. So that means that you need to take care of those aspects, because then the box mechanics will actually get in play with that layout for the levels. And then each world, so that means between the girl and the samurai, they are set in different seasons of the year. So the samurai starts in summer, and the princess starts in winter. And then as they move forwards the 4 levels, each of the levels has a different season. So that means that the samurai goes from summer to autumn, winter and spring, and the princess goes from winter, spring, summer and autumn. Each of the worlds has a huge enemy that is drawn from spirits of Japanese mythology. And along it, you have 2 middle bosses plus 2 big bosses for each of a world. So we are looking at 12 hours gameplay of a game.
It does sound like England and Australia, though. Like one side up there and then one side upside down, and completely different seasons.
Exactly. Which means that they have different times of day, different aspects. It's why the game also changes of the setting. So if you see as at the screenshots that you are able to see on the internet or on our pages, you will see that you have sometimes day, and sometimes it seems that the level is at night, and or at dawn or something like that. But because as we move, also there is also a time of day that is happening along the game, and there is also different weathers and this kind of thing. So there is a really rich and immersive atmosphere that we have tried to bring into the game in order to make it more pleasant to play and to replay it. There is also more than one way to solve the problems and to address obstacles. And so that means I think that there is a lot of things to actually explore from a player point of view, which will make it an interesting experience.
Definitely. I was definitely getting a lot of that from the video and the screenshots I've seen. It does look very interesting to play. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it will become more because we have not yet all the things there. So we are still missing a lot of origami mechanics. So in this case, I don't think in the video you're able to see it, but a little bit more head on the level. If a samurai can capture a hawk and use the hawk to actually defeat one of the middle bosses by distracting him with the hawk while he is slashing it with some power-up katanas combos, which means that there is a lot of different aspects of the game that makes it interesting to play. Plus, we will also give the option as the player unlocks a level. So once the player has played a level, we will also give him the option to actually be able to replay the game with one of the companions that you will be able to get. So for instance, if he has been able to unlock the Oni origami, then he will be able, for instance, to replay one of the levels using, for instance, instead of a samurai, to replay it with origami as the Oni as the main character.
Cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Replayability is important, so it is good that you can go back and do things that you may not have done the first time through.
Yeah, we have seen that when we were doing some focus group, and we had a couple of parts that were intended to be overcome. For instance, with an origami, and suddenly we saw that people were using the boxes to actually do a bridge, for instance, over water. So there is a part where you actually have to find a boat origami that is hidden in the level in order to summon a boat origami that will allow you to cross a large river. And suddenly we saw that people, instead of using the boxes to top them one on top of the other and raise the level where the boat was hidden, they're actually doing bridges with a box. Or, for instance, instead of crossing the river with a boat, what they actually do was summoning a lot of boats, going to fetch more paper in order to be able to keep summoning more origamis boats, and then to cross the river with a bridge made of boats.
Wow,
and so
that's
we
definitely
had
thinking outside the box there.
Yeah, I think that's part also of freedom that the game should be giving you, not only doing things the way the designer wants you to do it, but also to be able to explore new possibilities and to try out new things, even if they are silly. Why shouldn't it work? And in our case, a lot of things are able to work because each element has a core functionality. But that core functionality can be used for other things, and so it's a question of a player to actually find and fetch new approaches to solve that, and it's totally acceptable.
Cool, awesome.
Nice. Well, wow! I think we've heard a load about the game. And,
I want to play it now.
Yeah. No, I totally do as well. So I mean, when do you think we might be able to sort of expect to be able to play something?
So we are targeting the reboot for the Kickstarter to happen in 2 or 3 weeks. We will probably, if everything goes well, we will probably release some kind of demo mid campaign in order to be able to cope with the how do you call it, the low interest that usually Kickstarter campaigns have in the middle. And if not, in case even the second Kickstarter is not successful, what we will do, because we are determined to get this game in the market, what we'll do basically is to close the level that we have, so the world that we have now built, close it completely to have the first world and to release it as kind of episode 1 on Steam, PlayStation Network, and Xbox One, where the game is already approved to be released. So we will try to release it as episodes.
Cool.
Oh, well,
And
there we
if
go.
not, and if we were able to get all the funding that we need from Kickstarter, then the game will be released in first Q or second Q in 2016.
Nice.
Heard it here first. Well, maybe not. We've got some important questions. There is some very important questions that we always have to ask all our guests. The first question that we have to ask, we're going to switch up this week. What is the best thing you have eaten in the last 7 days?
The best thing that
you've eaten, so like, just some dinner or something. What's the best dinner you had? Yeah.
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah.
And I will say that a cake that I did 1 week ago, well, more than a cake, kind of a pie, because one of my kids is a really apple pie lover,
Nice.
but the rest of the family doesn't like apple pies. So I have done a pie without the apples, and it was really interesting because I also innovated a lot, like I do in my games. So I usually bring a lot of different things, blend everything together. I will not be able to do a second time the same thing, but it was very good.
Awesome. Mystery pie. I like it.
Yeah, mystery pie, yeah.
The second question, more important. In the last 7 days, what have you been playing?
What I've been playing?
Yeah, man. What games have you been playing? I mean, do you get a chance, in between developing, to actually get a chance to play some games?
That's a very good question, especially because I have a lot of people that are asking me always a lot of time that same question. I usually say that when you are concentrating in a development process, it is not very good to actually play other games, because it sometimes can give you wrong directions. But in this case, I can say that I've been playing around, instigated by my kids. I've been playing a lot Crossy Roads.
Oh, that game. Oh, that game.
Because my kids are challenging me, and so I've been trying to show them who is the master in video games in my house.
How far have you managed to get?
Only
What's
to
your furthest run?
252.
Nice. It's not bad.
Yeah, but I have a kid that goes up to 300, so to practice a lot.
Still got a way to go then.
Yeah, but apart from that, the games that I like to play are mainly action hack and slash games. So the other day I've unburied Castle Crashers.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, so in order to replay it a little bit, to remember some of the mechanics, in order to take that in consideration for some of the melees and some of the more hardcore mechanics that we want. And I have also replayed a lot Bastion, which is also a game that we have drawn a lot of inspiration, mainly for the way they have blended the story and the action with a narrator in off that is also telling the story. And if you have seen our cinematic trailer, you have probably seen that the inspiration is quite clear of how we've decided to choose a female voice instead of a male voice.
Definitely. Yeah, I did like the sort of No, what I liked about the narration was that she did her own voices as well. It was like literally the female actress did everything, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, we intended that because we intended to create a confusion on the player in order to not understand who is actually telling the story. Is it an unknown figure that is telling a story that no one knows? Is it the princess that years after the events in the game is telling the story to other people? So we intended it exactly to open a wide range of options that we wanted the player to question himself as he's playing and as he sees the events unfolding in front of him.
Cool.
Oh, fair enough, man. So, I mean, where can we find all of your jazz, man? I mean, have you got a website that we can kind of go to?
Yeah, so we have mainly been updating both the website that we have, which is hydrainteractive.com. We have also been updating the IndieDB microsite that we have. Mm-hmm. And now we are concentrating a lot of effort in doing updates on the Kickstarter webpage, mm-hmm. Which is still driving quite an interesting amount of traffic. So we are trying to leverage from that site in order to raise the second Kickstarter and to raise enough awareness, mm-hmm. to have it working correctly. So I would say that the best options to keep track on what we are doing is first the Kickstarter, then the website plus Twitter, which we have also a Twitter for both the game and for the company. So the Twitter handle for the company is Hydra Interactive without the ending E, and the upside down is upside down _game, where we have also a lot of things going on. Plus, if people likes to play around with characters, we have also doing some kind of transmedia, and we have the 4 main characters with their own Twitter handles, and from some time to time they actually start to do crazy things by themselves and discussing things between them and fighting and doing a lot of strange things.
Nice.
So in case people want to see kind of Twitter marionette thing going on from time to time.
Awesome.
Excellent, man. Excellent. So, I mean, Dave, man, what you been playing this week, man?
Me? I thought we'd go with Mike. Go Mike first.
All right, then. Go on then, Mike. Go on then, Stag.
What have I been playing? I have been playing... I started playing a mobile game again, man.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Them mobile games.
I started playing Star Wars Commander. Okay. May the 4th be with you.
Happy Star Wars Day.
It's Clash of Clans with Star Wars.
Is it not the card game version?
No. It's like Clash of Clans, but with Star Wars, and I don't know why I started playing it. now I'm just constantly like, oh, I need to build this. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, get a life.
Do you get to choose whether you're rebel or scum?
You do indeed.
Sith.
I am part of the Empire.
Nice. You're the evil big bad.
But the rebels. Apart from that, because it's not really there's not much to say about that game. It is just...
I mean, what is it? I mean, so Clash of Clans. I mean, like, for people that don't know what Clash of Clans
it's like a build your base, attack people, defend your base, build your base, try and avoid buying stuff.
Is it effectively build Jedi, send Jedi against enemy, win?
Sort of. There's not actually that much Jedi stuff in it. It's more like Stormtroopers and AT-ATs and stuff like that. But it's all right. It's I don't know. It's just one of those games. I'm bored. I decided to play it, and I wasted like 4 hours playing it.
I tell you what. I mean, the Stag Beetle. The important question here is, I mean, have you spent any money yet?
I spent £1.25.
Oh,
what was that on?
This thing was taking forever, and I was just like, do you know what? I'm gonna put this game down, but I'm just gonna see what happens after this. And I was like, fuck it, finish
They
that.
get you every time.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna spend any more money on it. I haven't really played it since Sunday or Saturday or something like that. I've kind of put it down since I started playing it.
It will get you again. You'll be like, I wonder if that thing's built. I wonder if anyone has lost against me. I'll just have a quick look. I'm waiting for the bus. I've got just 5 minutes.
I've also been playing Hearthstone. I haven't spent any money on that at the moment. But do you know what's really funny? Like everyone at work has started playing it since like it's become on the mobile, and like everyone was watching me and Zach play it and were like, "What the fuck is that piece of shit game that you're playing?" And now like everyone's like, "How'd you build that deck? How'd you do that? How'd you do that? How'd you do this?" And like literally, like even some of the girls are playing it. It's hilarious.
Nice. Have you unlocked all the wings of the new dungeon yet?
I haven't really done any of it. No, the problem is I get to I get to 500 gold and think, oh, I'm almost there, and I think, do you know what? Let's just buy some cards. Let's play arena or get cards with the gold instead. I'm useless, man. I will.
However, you do have lots and lots of cards.
I do have lots and lots of cards. I have quite a good collection, actually. Some of the new cards look pretty tasty.
Yeah, I played against someone with a full dragon deck the other day. That went downhill for me very fast.
Yeah,
those dragon cards are brutal.
There's a couple of them. The one I don't like is the one that's a 6/6 but gets +3/+3 if you're below 15 health. That's evil.
Yeah, the evil one gets +1/+1 every time you cast a spell on it.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. But no, apart from that, Mortal Kombat a little bit. I don't know. I can't progress.
What's the problem?
People are fucking good.
You want to go and have a chat with Martin? Martin will sort you out. He's like,
he's always playing. Well, he's Killer Instinct a lot though. But like, I'm not bad, but I'm just it's annoying. Like, I can kick some ass for a bit, and then suddenly they work out my like everything, and then I'm like, game over. Yeah. And it's just frustrating.
I believe we've just lost Daniel. Bye, Daniel. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, you didn't need to acknowledge that, but keep going. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I tell you what I have been playing with quite a lot. My shiny new phone.
Oh.
Yeah, your Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge, according to the document.
Yes, it's a beast. If I'm honest.
Is it bigger than the S5? Because the S5 it's starting to do the iPhone. It's basically the same shape, but slightly bigger.
This one, it's the same size as an S5, but it's slimmer because it has the edging and stuff on it. It's metal frame, so they've gone completely metal. There's no SD card, but it's a 64 gig version, so I don't really need an SD card.
Does it come with a watch or a Batman utility belt?
No, it doesn't. I got rid of my watch, actually.
Cornflake ring.
You got rid of the watch?
Oh, what's the point? Fuck the watch. Needed a bit of money. I was like, yeah, so I did. Give it to someone. There we go. But no, main things to shout about this phone.
Yeah, go on.
It's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous? Sorry, your voice went weird then.
The camera is ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
It is ridiculous. I didn't get that either.
The camera.
Oh, right, okay. Apparently the quality of sound's ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
I'm not on it right now. To be honest, I should have found my other ones. No, it's the camera. Like in low light, especially. I was out in the pub taking some photos of the people out with us.
Yeah.
And they look like photos. It's just really, really good.
Cool.
It's so.
Wait, you're saying that if you go into a low lighted area and take pictures, then they come out really well?
Yeah.
What possible use could I use for that? I don't.
Sneaky shit. The other thing is the screen.
Yeah.
It's Ultra HD, so it's just ridiculous. Like things look better on it than I've ever seen stuff look on, because it's so small.
Yeah.
It's like if you like I can look at a HD like my brother's got an Ultra HD monitor which looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not at like a 5-inch screen, so this has like 600 pixels per inch, which is ridiculous sort of thing.
Yeah.
in like a inch screen, it is just phenomenally like it doesn't look real. It's that good. Crazy.
So it's when you take selfies and you're like, oh my god, I look that good. Oh, amazing.
There's actually some really funny stuff on the selfie thing. So there's like there's a slim your face mode, which can slim your face down, but it doesn't kind of work on my head. So I have a massive fucking head, and then like just like the sides of my cheeks are like really inside, sort of thing.
But if I did a slim your face picture, I'd disappear. My head would just not be there.
It's a game changer, mate. It is honestly, I'm if I hadn't like I've got a slight fault with mine, which is just like a defect from when it's been manufactured by the looks of things. So I'm going to just swap it as soon as another one comes in. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But even with that defect, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It is honestly probably the best piece of kit I've got in years.
Oh,
awesome!
Well, there we go. Go and get your Essex Edge now. Go on, go and do it. Do it. Come on. You and boy.
Hopefully we'll be getting one at my workplace that I can get to play with.
They're good, man. It's an octa-core processor, so it's no slouch. 3 gig of RAM. It's beating like someone was talking about it, and they were like, I swear that's better than my computer, and like, yeah, it is probably better than most people's laptops and stuff.
Yeah, the day will come when the phones will be better than the PCs. It will happen.
Maybe. Hopefully not in my day, because I like my fucking trusty PC, man.
Yeah, but just think the technology that's going into it. Soon you'll be able to play Final Fantasy while on the train.
I can already do that.
You see what they've done from the Avengers. So, Tony Stark has that invisible style phone that's like it's like a slate of just like glass, and then it comes up. They've made a real life version of that. Samsung have.
That's pretty cool.
And it works. I was just like, I want one of them.
On that level, actually, just because you said about Avengers, have you seen it yet?
This weekend. I've heard it's amazing.
It is so good. I'll wait until you've seen it, and then I don't know. We might
talk about it next week.
Yeah, we might talk about it next week.
I've put it off twice because I was close to going, and then like I was only going with one person, and I was like, I want to go with some people, and then the other time I was really hungover, so I didn't really want to.
It was just me. It was me and Shannon that went. I tried to get a few people from work to go, but it ended up just being me and Shannon. So it was like dinner date with Shannon. Dinner cinema date with Shannon. But that was pretty fucking hilarious. Shannon's a guy, by the way, just to throw that out there. I know that's a very female name.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a guy's name.
Very 4 foot tall guy.
I've heard Stacey's a guy's name as well.
There's lots of names like that.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. But I mean, Dave, man, what have you been playing, bro?
Speaking of Marvel, I've been playing Marvel Heroes 2015.
Okay.
What with the film coming out and me not actually having seen it yet, I thought I'd jump in on the Marvel vibe because pretty much everywhere is going nuts about it. There's so many mobile games now, and Marvel Heroes 2015 have just done an update for Age of Ultron. So for new players, you get to be the Avengers, and you can actually get to play them as your starting characters.
Dun, dun, dun!
Oh, that's pretty cool. And it's a free-to-play MMO, isn't it?
It's a free-to-play Diablo style MMO. So yes, I'm still on that MMO vibe. I was trying to get away from it.
You haven't left it. You haven't left it, mate.
No, it's an MMO in a different guise.
But never lose the clutches.
No, I haven't. Wait till you see what game I've been playing this week, next week. But I'm really liking it. What they've done is it's free to play, so you can play every character from the starting collection for free up to level 10. Then you uncap one of them, so it gives you a really good chance to get to grips with all the characters and what you like about them, what you don't like about it. And the one that you feel most comfortable with, you go, right, I'm going to uncap that, and then you play that one to level 60, which is the end level. But if you want to play others, you then spend money or use special rare in-game items that hardly ever drop and to unlock them. Which is a really cool way of doing it, but then there's obviously the marketplace where you can buy currency, which will allow you to upgrade your character and awesome ways. But yeah, the storyline's really good because it was Marvel Heroes 2014 and it was shit. And
oh, okay. I mean, what was so bad about it, Dave?
They went into it with no concept of what people liked. So the combat was clunky, the controls were awkward, there's hardly any storyline to speak of, and it was generally bad. It was almost like it's the Final Fantasy 14 style, the fact that it was really terrible and then they sort of took it away and tweaked it and then they re-released it to fanfare and everything else. So this is effectively what they've done with Marvel Heroes 2015.
Fair enough.
The feedback from the community has been really positive. Everyone's really liked the improvements that they've done.
Okay, well, you know what? I think I might need to check this game out now because I was
definitely.
To be fair, I was like, I don't want to get into another MMO kind of thing, but I don't know, man. If I can fucking play as the Avengers, I'm sold, man. I'm wearing a Captain America hat right now.
Well, on that note, Leon, on that note, there is an interesting spin on how Elder Scrolls Online is trying to get people hooked in.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. They're showing that you could be the Avengers. So they have Iron Man as a knight in a red suit of armor. They have the Hulk as something. Literally, they have made the Avengers into Elder Scrolls Online. Why? Oh, it's just ridiculous.
Brilliant.
That's just like sheer desperation there.
Yeah, they really need some people to play the game.
At least it's Marvel actually doing Marvel shit.
I know.
That's fair enough, but what?
Well, hey, if everyone's doing it, why not jump on the bandwagon?
Oh, man. Hey-oh.
Awesome. But yes, no, I would definitely recommend it. And even have Stan Lee himself. He is a guard in the Stark Towers, the event towers.
I swear that guy's immortal. I swear.
He really is. His voice is everything. They've actually got him in game, and he's kind of like your tutorial dude that tells you where to go.
Oh, really? He does the tutorial? Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've
sold the game even more to me now.
But yeah, so that's my game. I've been playing Hearthstone and my various other mobile games, which I will talk more about another time. But that's pretty much me. What about you, man?
Fair enough. Well, I have been finally hitting up Ori and the Blind Forest.
You've been playing something different,
and oh my God, that game is awesome. I mean, so good.
Bringing the feels. Is it bringing the feels?
Oh, fuck yeah, it is. I mean, come on, you're not even fucking 10, 15 minutes in and you already see death. You're just, it's like, oh my God, man.
No.
And but the thing is that I've played for about 3.5 hours now. So I say I'm probably about 15, maybe 20% in. And oh man, I mean, I've just sort of unlocked some power ups, so I've got double jump and I've got I'm just trying to think. A double jump. I've got this so I can climb up the walls, kind of thing. And then there's this sort of other sort of interesting mechanic that I've kind of unlocked, where I can kind of I can dash towards an enemy or a projectile, and it makes me boost further into the air. I've never seen that kind of mechanic used before. It's really
interesting.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it's really cool because of the fact that it really kind of adds an intensity sometimes to some of the sequences. Because of the fact that you're relying on sometimes an enemy firing at you to be able to actually get up to that bit that you couldn't get to. I mean, I was just before the podcast I was playing a bit, and I just I woken one of the temple kind of things. I don't want to spoil the story at all because it is so
no spoilers.
Good. Honestly, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll just sort of tell you. But anyway. So this water is just literally fastly coming up kind of thing right beneath me, and I'm like, oh fuck, kind of thing. I need to get out of here kind of thing.
I've seen a video of that actually,
and it's so intense. And
it does look mental.
Man, it took me I'm gonna say probably 20, 25 tries, I reckon. I just kept fucking up near the end.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was really annoying. So I'd have to go through the whole sequence.
Yeah, admittedly, the video I saw was a dude doing it first in one go. So.
When I actually first, when I actually finally did it, I was literally just going, fuck. I can breathe now. Like.
Yeah. The thing that intrigues me is narration kind of thing reminds me of Vic Reeves on Shooting Stars.
Why are you spoiling? Stop spoiling things in my fucking document. I'm gonna get to shit like that.
But I want to know.
Fuck's sake, Dave. All right. Anyway, no. But honestly, the narration, as you have just spoiled, does completely remind me. Like when he does the club kind of like dance, like,
yeah.
It's just sort of like it's a really weird kind of voice in some sense, and that's what it just sounds odd to me, and that's what in my head in like I had that.
That's amazing. I just had visions of you running along and then him just suddenly going, "Uvavu." Like close on, he's like, "Uradu."
But basically, you're playing as Ori, and you've got this this sort of, I don't know, this white kind of weird thing following around with you that kind of does the kind of all the attacks in some sense. It's like a little fairy kind of thing, like it kind of looks like Zelda.
Fucking fairy.
Hey, listen,
that kind of thing. I mean, that's what it kind of looks like, but I mean, it probably isn't that. I don't know specifically know what this thing is. I mean, let's see if I can find out. Let's have a quick look. Well, I know. Oh, it's Naru. I think is the. Oh no, I was adopted by Naru. That's a different thing. I don't know, but it's really fucking weird, this game, in some sense, because of the fact that the story is a little bit odd, but it guides you through nicely. Really nice soundtrack. The art style of the game is fantastic as well. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. I can't stress that enough. They've done a really good job on it.
It does look pretty.
And yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a little emotional game and a perfect puzzle platformer. I mean, like, some of the puzzles in this game have been, like, frustrating, but I haven't been like, fuck's sake, I'm going to chuck the controller across the room. I'm like, no, it's completely my fault that I fucked that up. That wasn't anything to do with the game. That is just me being shit.
Is it just PS4 that it's on?
No, it's not on PS4 at all. It was on Xbox One, and it's also on PC. I bought it on Steam myself. And I honestly completely recommend it. It cost me $14.99 on Steam. I seriously highly recommend it. Go and buy it now. It's brilliant.
Awesome. Or just wait a week, and then when the Steam Summer Sale comes on.
Well, yeah, it might come up in the summer sale in the future. But honestly, I think it's worth paying full price for it. I honestly do. I think it's a really fun platformer. I haven't played a platformer that I have particularly enjoyed, for a while, I think, in some sense. And yeah, no, this is definitely made me go, fuck me, I need to get back into platforming again, for sure.
So you're going to finish it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I am going to go through the whole of that game. But obviously, I will be playing a different game for next week. But we'll find out what that is next week. So, I mean, Dave, man, do you want to go through the new releases this week, my man?
Yeah, sure. Oh man, the new releases. So yeah, every Sunday. No, there isn't. In fact, there are 3.
There is 3.
However, yesterday, it's a Sunday, this is the day that I sort out all the tweets and set everything up. So the first tweet I write is obviously for tomorrow, that Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which is the full standalone prequel to The New Order, is coming out. So I looked onto their website, got all the details, and I found a link to the original Wolfenstein 3D that you can play in a browser, the full game, all 3 chapters, every level.
Yes, that's awesome.
And then I didn't do any other tweets, and I didn't do anything else because I sat there playing that till about 3 in the morning. Yes! Oh my god, that game is so good. Oh. So, but there is a tweet going out tomorrow, or yesterday, or in fact in the past now, because you'll be hearing this once the tweet's gone out, because time travel, woo, a link to that page so you can go and play it and enjoy it in its awesomeness. So yes, I need to finish New Order because the Old Blood looks really cool. The trailer looks amazing. The way, the style that they've done it in is hilarious. It's proper old school, like B-movie style with that sort of thing. It does look really good. One thing that annoys me, though, is it's a prequel, but it has new weapons in it, which is exactly the same with the Arkham Asylum. Was when they did the prequel to it, they suddenly had better equipment and new stuff, and it's like, how is that even possible? Just because he has amnesia at the end. So yeah, but it's effectively the story of him finding out how to get into Death's Head compound, which is where you start out at the beginning of New Order. So it sort of ties in the whole Castle Wolfenstein thing, which looks interesting. So definitely something I want to potentially check out, and that comes out on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 tomorrow or Tuesday for people who are listening to it now. And then on the 8th of May, which I believe is the Friday.
Yep.
For all you Wii U lovers who still have a Wii U and are needing new games, Kirby and the Rainbow Paintbrush, which sounds like some sort of Cartoon Network kiddie thing, but it's Kirby. Kirby is back, and he is.
I think there was a game before, wasn't there? I think there was Canvas Curse or something like that.
Yeah, because I've got a link for Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
I think it was. I think it was on the DS kind of thing. That game.
Yeah.
I think that's what it kind of. They've kind of carried over sort of some of the mechanics from that game, I believe.
Definitely, I think you just get to be Kirby and get to be awesome again. So who doesn't love being awesome and Kirby? And the last one is also on Friday, Project Cars.
Which
PC.
I'm actually really excited to look at this one, actually.
Yeah, I kind of got distracted with Wolfenstein a lot, so I didn't actually have a chance to read much up on Project Cars. So please tell me more.
Well, it's a simulator. It's a car simulating game. So that's
awesome.
What you need to know in some sense. But I've seen the footage for it, and it looks incredible. It's actually a British team, Slightly Mad Studios.
That's right, yeah.
And I've been keeping my eye on this one, so I don't know. I probably won't be picking up straight away, but I will be picking up soon for sure, because the graphics look incredible, and I think, if I remember rightly, they're going to be supporting 4K, maybe even higher, if I remember rightly, even so.
Nice.
Pretty
well,
crazy.
I've got PC, Xbox One, PS4, and potentially Wii U. There was a question mark on that one.
Oh, really? I see. I didn't know about Wii U. That's the first I've heard. In
I'm not sure about that, but
yeah.
my sources is sometimes unreliable, so don't hold me to that, just in case. But they're your main games for this week. I'm sure that there are probably a few other sneaking through.
Speaking of graphics, because we don't have many other new releases, but there was some news this week. Did anyone see the Square Enix trailer for graphics? I think it was called Woman Cry or something like that.
Oh, you on about just their I can't remember what you call it now. It's just sort of like a tech demo. Yeah, no, I did see it. It is fucking incredible. Me. Yeah, I mean, serious.
Good, is it?
Well, it was quite interesting because they were talking about how, because there's that, I can't remember what the term is, but as technology and graphics and stuff get better and better, they've always had to dumb it down because it gets that it's called the valley of something, or it doesn't look quite real. So all those robots that they have that look almost real, but because they have dead eyes sort of thing, it looks weird to the human sort of thing. They've cracked it on this.
Yeah,
they fucking Mate, it's ridiculous. I'll give them that.
It is incredible. I mean, Dave, if you haven't seen it yet, definitely go and check it out. I
will check it out after the cast.
I mean, we are getting very, very close to that photorealism now. In fact, maybe even hit it. I'm not sure, but it's incredible.
Good to know. So soon we'll have to hand out Voicamp tests to people.
I like it. All right, well, I mean, what else is going on in the world of news? I mean, we did kind of hover over the Black Ops announcement last week because we were like, Call of Duty, do we care? But, I mean, Mike, man, what's... what did you think of the whole Black Ops things coming out?
I'll be honest, right? It's fucking Call of Duty again, isn't it?
It is!
Yeah.
I'm not going to let them get my hype. I'm not letting them do it. Advanced Warfare, wouldn't buy it. Wouldn't let myself do it.
As Martin pointed out last week, he was you're just buying that game to be social in some sense. You're buying it so that you can play that game with your friends.
Right? It's similar to FIFA and stuff like that. Yeah. You buy it every year so that you have the newest version so you can play against the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But there is no game. It's so different.
But it will still sell in its bucket loads. There will be billions and billions. It'll probably break another award or something, and everyone's going to have it to look good on their shelf.
All of the people I work with got what's it called? Battlefield Hardline.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, come on, play it. I was like, 7 days, mate. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, 7 days. You'll trade it in. I was wrong. It was 8 days. It's like, it's just, to be honest, I don't care anymore. I'll tell you what they can do. Let's go back to World War II. Let's go Vietnam, mate. Let's go back. I don't want all this advanced warfare rubbish. I want the old school stuff. That was fun.
Exactly. Leave the advanced stuff to the sci-fi guys. Just get back to your proper war fucking shit. That's what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mud, sweat, and tears. That's what we want.
And to be honest, I don't want a game every year. I really don't. I don't need one every year.
But isn't this one being done by the studio that actually get it right?
Treyarch, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, they're the one that actually do it well. So
that's
maybe,
why I've heard a few people go, actually, well, maybe you shouldn't disregard it quite yet, Leon. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, all right, I'll give you a chance.
I'm not disregarding it. I'm just mocking it because it's decided to not take itself seriously or take itself too seriously, which quite rightly leaves it open to as much mocking as possible. So it still may be a good game, but fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Indeed.
Yeah, indeed.
So, I mean, paid mods from Valve for Skyrim have just been kind of...
That went down well, didn't it?
Wait, they're gone.
Yeah, that I mean, like, I did have it on the document to talk about it last week, but we didn't end up talking about it, and now it's gone. So,
yeah, but it's gone with a question mark of whether it's potentially coming back again, because the whole furor that it kicked off made lots of people with lots of money go, ooh, potentially we could do this, but if we do it right next time, we might get away with it.
Yeah. But, I mean, didn't, like, Bethesda in some sense say that they just didn't want it in some sense, or is it more actually towards the team?
Like, why did the PC world go mental about it? Because it's not necessarily a bad thing if they're going to make the content but at a high level and then you have to pay a bit for it. I would.
It's because the modding has been around for years, but everyone does it in their spare time, and it's kind of like an unwritten rule that if you do it, you can ask for money, but generally speaking, it's generally bad form to charge lots of people lots of money for it. So the fact that they're coming along with this whole new thing, it feels like that people are taking away their toys and are going to be charging ridiculous amounts of it.
I know what you mean. But I mean, I understand. I mean, like Gabe Newell, in some sense, came out in regards to this, and we're sort of going, well, I mean, surely this should, spark people to do, better content in some sense, so that that they can, in some sense, make sure that these mods are getting better, and in some sense, getting more value for money, and just it's in general better for the community. That's what
absolutely,
he's kind of
and regulated as well. So those are going to be just billions of mods that you load up and suddenly there's a giant penis in front of you.
Love it.
Oh, I mean, I hate mods that don't work as well, and at least it's going to be all there. You know that you're going to put that you put your money in, and you're going to get that mod with fucking zero bullshit, pretty much.
Absolutely, it's effectively a knee-jerk reaction because oh shit, change, and oh my god, money must suddenly throw everything out my pram and make big noises. So that's effectively what's happened, but now things are going to settle down and people are actually going to think about it, and hopefully the next time out it's going to be a lot better. So, who knows?
Indeed, yeah. Right, I mean, what else we got here?
Konami, what the fuck is going on with Konami?
I mean, come on, last week we were just talking about, Silent Hill disappearing, and what's going on with Kojima even, in some sense.
Yeah, and then literally 2 days after that, they suddenly pulled from the stock market. Gone.
What the fuck's going on? Seriously. I mean, like, they are...
What's going now?
They are, like, probably one of the leaders, in some sense, in the Japanese market.
According to news sources, the reason they pulled out was because they felt that the console market wasn't a good market anymore, which is strange for a console company to say things like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think? What do you think they're going to do, man?
I don't know. Movies.
They're making they're making Iron Man suits, mate.
They're going to go to mobile. They may go to. Because they've already done some mobile stuff, so maybe they'll do some more.
No, maybe. I still quite like the Iron Man suits idea. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, Marvel and Telltale Games are getting together.
Oh, mate. That's
going to be so
such a
good.
move.
I think that's an incredible move. Frankly, I know. I think because Telltale Games have done a great job. With quite a few series now. In some sense, I think that Marvel and Telltale Games is a match made in heaven in some sense.
Absolutely,
Well,
they're totally on their game right now. They've Game of Thrones they've just done recently. So they've got. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of eyes on them. They're really hitting them off, and putting out quality products. So as long as it doesn't turn into Green Lantern, then I'm sure it'll be all right.
Decent card, mate.
No one wants that.
But
Did
no,
you
it's
see the Deadpool kind of stuff? Just to throw it out there, because obviously it's Ryan Reynolds kind of thing. I'm actually excited for him as as Deadpool, though. I think that's going to be really cool.
He'll be so good because they gave him a basic script.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, I won't do it unless we make it a dirty 18. Like, do Deadpool properly." Yeah. And they said, no, we need to calm it down. And he goes, "I will not do it unless." And that's why it took so long, because he was like, it needs to be very violent, really cheesy, over the top. What Deadpool's all about.
So yeah, that's why I'm really excited that Ryan Reynolds is definitely involved in that project. Come on, we all know the Green Lantern, but he's definitely going to be a good Deadpool for sure.
Green Lantern wasn't that bad a film. It just wasn't that. It wasn't he was that bad in it.
No, yeah, granted, you're right.
Not. There wasn't much to it, and the thing was, it's they didn't really they didn't utilize some of the main bad guy. They could have started with Sinestro or someone I know they built it up for that, but they needed someone that could be an ongoing protagonist rather than someone that's just there and then
no. I've seen Ryan Reynolds in other movies, and he just doesn't. I don't know. He just doesn't have that thing. But it's kind of like with the Ben Affleck as Batman. A lot of people, when Ben Affleck was announced as Batman, was like, "Holy fuck, this is never going to work in a million years." But as the movie has slowly started to come together, and more shots have come out, and more information about it, a lot of people are going, potentially it could work. So I don't know. I'm going to remain skeptical until I actually
rule out anyone for characters in DC, because they were like Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Oh,
you Tom Hardy as Bane? Are you mad? And then who's playing Joker next?
Jared Leto.
Yeah, and everyone's complaining about him, and then I'm like, just let see what happens.
Did you see the Suicide Squad picture actually?
Yeah.
No.
It looks badass, man. You can see Deadpool, Harley Quinn. I just can't even think of all the names now, but there's the whole Suicide Squad there, man. It's looking really fucking cool.
Nice. Good stuff.
All right. Well,
I think it's a good move by Telltale's really in right now.
Do you reckon
really in right now? It's
Telltale would do it the same way they've done it with others, that you pay a random generic person that's tied into the universe, or do you think that you could pick, you could be, I don't know, one of the main characters, and you just sort of.
I think if they're going to do it, they're going to kind of. I don't know, actually.
I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. But, I'm excited nonetheless, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As long as they do it in the sort of typical Marvel comic style as well, I think that could be a really good game.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I think it's probably about time that we wrap this cast up, guys.
Okay.
We're getting close to time. Well, first of all, we better say goodbye to Daniel, even though he left quite a while ago.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Daniel.
But no, it was a pleasure having him on the show. Obviously, he did sort of put up all his links earlier, but Hydra Interactive, go and find them. Check out Upside Down Dimensions. I believe they might be changing the name soon, but we'll still find out.
I know for when they do their Kickstarter, is it a couple of weeks' time?
Yes, in a couple of weeks' time, but what we'll do is that when it does happen, we'll make sure to let you all know on the podcast. So, there we go. But yeah, if you'd like to take part in our conversation, you can either post on our Facebook wall at facebook.com/GameOverYear.
You can tweet us at GoVyear.
Email me or the guys at contactus@gameoveryear.net.
And obviously you can find all of these links at our website, which is gameoveryear.net. Thank you for joining us, and until next time,
Game over, yeah.